gentlemen, please take your seats. Thank you, Mama. I'm really both honored and humbled to be invited by you, Mama, who I have a lot of respect for. Our fellow leaders, those on NEC, the prospective candidates, the members of the party, the new members, ladies and gentlemen, Rubangbe, Kariduchu, and thank you very much. I was here feeling both proud and jealous. Yes, I was feeling proud because my brothers are getting actually names from Northern Uganda. But at the same time, I was feeling jealous because they are getting very nice names. The people in Acholi Quarter, in Honorable Senyoni's constituency, interestingly had nicknamed him Oteka. And now you call him Oteka Moi. Said, all good things are going to go to this guy. And then, as if that was not making me jealous enough, I had you name our Secretary General Otim. I said, now this man, when you go back, he's going to become Otimongoya. I welcome you, comrades, to the team of wonderful names.
Okay,
friends, I'm very glad that we're meeting here today in Northern Uganda, and I'm talking to you standing on Acholi land. This is a victory. Why? Because there is every effort to stop us from meeting physically. That artificial construct of NUP is only in Buganda. It's constructed by the regime. They are deliberate. They are intentional to divide us and keep us away from each other. Because they know as soon as we meet physically, we are going to realize we are brothers and sisters and connect immediately. So they use taxpayers' money, they use violence, they use propaganda and all manner of machinations to keep us apart. So it is a victory just for us to be meeting on a jolly land. Museven, do you know this one? Do they know this one? They have no idea. Do they know that spear? Do they know this one? As a culture man, I respect our African culture. Yes. And I don't care what anybody thinks, but when you come to my home, you will find me meeting my guests where I proudly place all these spears and shields that I get from all over the country. These are signs of endorsement, they are signs of acceptance, they are signs of love. So I appreciate the gestures, ladies and gentlemen. So much has been said. I want to appreciate our friends, the Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom in Africa, for making this possible. Thank you, friends. So much has been mentioned. I also want to appreciate the presence of our senior comrade, Honorable Isha Oto. We don't take for you granted your presence here, my brother. We appreciate you. And yes, like the Secretary General said, I cannot wait to slaughter my bull and enjoy it the day you go to officially join us. But we can wait patiently. Now, friends, so much has been said. I will tell you that just 2 days ago, I was attending the burial of my former headmaster in our village. He's called Mr. Molondo. This man taught me in P3, but he remembered me and he would call me by name. And when I went to politics, he's one of the senior elders that always called me and gave me words of wisdom. Now, a short while before he passed away, he called me to his house and told me, my son, I hear all that you say. I hear when you express your anger and disappointment about this regime. But I want you, moving forward, to be talking less of your anger and shining a light on the alternative, on what you plan, you and your friends, what you plan to do for this country. And I listen to him. Good. And moving forward, I will try to follow that advice. But please underline the word try. Why? Because it is very hard not to mention the pain, the clear pain of the people. But today, I will not talk about that pain. However, permit me to take us a little back. It is when you analyze a problem, that is when you're going to decide the right solution for that problem. For example, how did we all get here? How did we all become enslaved? Because it's not a question. We are slaves on the land of our forefathers. The Acholi and Lango and all people in northern Uganda are slaves. You Acholi, you are slaves on the land of Jipil and Labong. The Bagisu are slaves on the land of Masaba. The Baganda, where I come from, are slaves on the land of Chintu. And this has cut across the entire country. But how did we get here? How did we end up enslaved and divided and hating each other instead of hating the enemy? How did we get here? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind all of us that we are victims. Not just us. Me, I think I'm older than majority of you here. If you are above 43, let me see your hand. You see? If you're 44 years, if you're above. No, if you are 44 and above, they are fewer and fewer. That means majority of you are younger than me or my age. And yet me, I was only 4 years when Museveni came to power. What does that mean? Majority of us here were not born. That means we are victims and our parents were victims. We are all victims. Our parents were victims of oppression and of violence and of lies. And for us, we are victims of lies and brainwash. My brothers and sisters, this has been deliberate. It has been done by Museveni and his people, smartly and intentionally and deliberately. It started way back in the times of Idi Amin. Museveni was strategic. He planned this. It started way back in the days of Idi Amin. For example, you remember the murder and disappearance of the former Chief Justice of Uganda, Ben Chiwanuka. Some of you that research, I want you to go because all information is online. It's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, it's everywhere. I want you to go and follow the account of Hussein Lumumba Amin. And you will find out that it is very, very possible in 90% that Museveni and his fellow criminals of Fronasa in 1984 actually are claimed to have abducted Ben Chiwanuka. In the drones of those days, the car belonged to Museveni, UU2 something. Museveni wrote about that car in his book, Sowing the Mustard Seed. And he said he was parked in Mbale, where the government forces of President Idi Amin attacked those terrorists. Amin survived. Museveni survived. His friends did not survive. He wrote about it, not knowing it will come back later. Now, Ben Chiwanuka was abducted up to today. Is not seen. In the same tactics that are happening today. That was intended to make all of us, especially the people in Uganda, to hate President Idi Amin. And it worked. It worked. We all grew up hating him until the truth started coming out. That did not stop there, ladies and gentlemen. In 2004, in Bushenyi, while they were burying Adonia Timerondwa, a former UPC member, Kainda Otafire came out as if a ghost had come on his head, and he confessed that Museveni and his people would put on UPC uniform and go in the villages in Buganda and slaughter people. These are not my words. These words came from the mouth of Kainda Otafire. These people would dress like UPC. They would go kill people, child, mother, father, everything. And then later on, they would come and pretend to be fighting for our people. And that is how the hate in Buganda against Obote and his people started. That's why I'm telling you, we are victims of propaganda and lies. We were set up against each other, to hate each other, and it worked. Until the truth came out. So we grew up hating each other. When Museveni took over in 1986, they had collaborations with people. I have an uncle, his name is Andrew Butakome Kaira. He was one of the rebels that spoke to Museveni and agreed to work together. But the hypocrite and liar that Museveni is, Kaira was kicked and shot dead in 1987. But that is not the story. Where is the story? When Kaira's forces joined Museveni, they were largely Baganda. But after the elimination of Kaira, those Baganda soldiers, they were under Museveni, and as a soldier, you just take orders. They were deployed in northern Uganda. This is a conversation that I had with one of the Acholi leaders. Because in our generation, we were trying to find out, how come Kabaka Mutesa and Daudi Ochieng were best of friends? How come Kabaka Mwanga and the old leaders of Acholi were friends? How come that we were so in love that even the most important place in Buganda, Kololo, is named in Anacholi language? How come we are not friends anymore? So this elder told me the story. He said after Museveni took over, the Baganda soldiers, those that belonged to Kaira, they didn't have a leader anymore. They were deployed here and they ordered to massacre. And yes, those Baganda soldiers under the orders of Museveni carried out those massacres. Tell me why the Acholi and Lango and people of northern Uganda would not hate us. So yes, we were set up against each other by the same man. This went on, and it worked for Museveni until the truth came out. That is not enough. I want you, comrades, to go and research. You have your smartphones in your hands. I want you to go and research about a genocide that they call a brilliant genocide or a silent genocide that was carried out here in northern Uganda for so many years. Why? That was not only a revenge against former President Milton Obote. No, it was to disempower, to dehumanize, to break the people of northern Uganda. That is how we got here. It happened for a long, long time. I have watched many documentaries, and in that documentary, unfortunately, there are leaders like Honorable Norbert Mao who spoke very painfully for the people of Acholi against that man that used the military to dehumanize them, to destroy their livelihood, to destroy their education, to destroy their future. This was done in northern Uganda, just like everywhere, just like in Busoga, just like in Karamoja, etc., etc. It is so painful that when we were growing up, the people of northern Uganda had been the most educated. And today, the older generation in northern Uganda is more educated than the young generation. Because It was a deliberate destruction of our people. Unfortunately, the culprit made sure that he transfers the accountability and the blame to somebody else. Our generation. That is how we got here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to go back. Those that are